Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Tomas. I'm here bringing you another video today, a valuable one if you're looking towards investing and taking some first steps to becoming financially successful. Now, when you're just starting out investing, it's a reasonable question, how much should I start with? Well, while it's the truth that you don't need much to begin investing, in fact, every dollar counts when you're just starting out, but it seems to be that a common number that people think about or feel comfortable starting with is $1,000. So if this is a number that works for you, whether you already have that capital ready to deploy, or maybe you're working on getting your money up, trying to hit that special number, then today's video, we're gonna cover the best ways to invest that $1,000. There are 4 of these, okay? And these are really just the complete best options to start investing if you're fresh to investing, okay? Because these methods are gonna give you the best bang for your buck. In other words, these 4 methods are gonna have the best impact on not only building your wealth, but building your life. So you want to pick one of these methods. You might even want to pick a couple of these methods, okay? But just remember, in the end, it all comes back to what kind of person you are, what kind of goals you have, as well as it's just personal preference. So really, all 4 of these ideas are great ideas to invest your first $1,000, and you can choose whichever one you want. So as always, I just ask that if you enjoy this video, if it benefits you, if you learned something that you weren't aware of before, then just make sure and hit that like button for me. On my YouTube journey, okay, every like counts, guys, so just feel free to do that. I really appreciate the support, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button as well. Become part of the financial community. So yeah, click the like button. Oh, sorry folks, had something in my throat there. I think that's all done with now. So let's see what's in store for option 1. Okay, so one of the most intelligent decisions you could ever make when you have money is to pay off debt. Whether you pay it off or even if you're just working on paying it down, this can really have a substantial effect. This will, of course, depend on what kind of debt you have, though. So, for example, good debt versus your bad debt. And some people are going to try and argue the fact that, all debt is bad. But guys, just being complete and respectfully honest, this is just nonsense. Debt is just part of our society as humans, okay? And it has been for a very, very long time, like thousands of years BC. It works well with our financial systems in place to help people, live comfortable lives. But chances are the more debt you're racking up, then your life is going to be, less comfortable. You can accumulate debt through a lot of ways, okay? Especially today, in today's day and age, there's just more ways than ever to rack up debt. And this can come in the form of good debt, such as your mortgages, okay? But not always. And even things like a student loan can be considered good debt, okay? But also not always. Remember, debt is debt. So in these 2 cases, you need to make sure that if you're going to go to school, that you have a plan, okay? And that if you're getting a mortgage for a house you're buying, that this is a house that you can actually afford, okay? Because no matter what your scenario is, these are always expenses that you're going to have to pay. But then there's what we call bad debt, okay? So these are things like your credit card debt, your high-rate consumer loans. Even I'd go so far as to say that auto loans are considered bad debt, okay? Because typically you're going to have a higher rate of interest with these, and it's not always that way, but especially if you have an older vehicle, the rates are going to be way higher. And on top of this, you're getting a loan on a depreciating asset. If you have $1,000, then it's going to be very hard to find any alternatives at all that are going to give you a better return than what you're paying on your credit card and interest. This is why paying off debt is what I usually recommend to people who, they've been saving money and they're wondering what they should do with it. Because picture this, guys, you have a credit card and this is 15% interest on average that you're paying on that credit card. And then it can get even higher, so 20% plus. So this is absolutely dastardly. It's a terrible interest rate to be paying, and it's basically the worst kind of debt really that an ordinary person could take on. With $1,000, if you were to invest this, chances are in a year you're not going to get a return of 20% or more if you're investing that money. So it just makes sense to pay down your debt or even pay it off if it's less than $1,000, because you're just going to be smooth sailing from there. Think about it, at $1,000, 20% annually, that comes out to $200 every year that you're paying that you don't even need to be paying, okay? Because this is pretty much money stolen from you because you decide to A, buy things with your credit card, but most importantly, B, you're carrying a balance, and that's why you're getting charged interest. So that's over $15 a month in interest charges that you're paying that you can just totally wipe out, okay? Eliminate it by paying $1,000 down on your credit card debt. And paying off debt is another great idea because you don't just want to keep sitting in debt, okay? Or making small or even minimal payments, because really that's not going to get you anywhere. And this can even lead to it snowballing, okay? Getting bigger and bigger and eventually out of control. I just feel like often people don't view their credit card as like debt. They just keep charging their card, and they don't view this as like real dollars. But trust me, guys, believe me, these are your dollars, okay? They're real dollars. So try and treat them like you care about them. That's all I got to say there. It's not just the high credit card debt that you should be worrying about, okay? If you have anything like a high rate consumer loan, if you're into overdraft protection, okay, or even if you have something like a line of credit with a pretty high interest rate, then these are all things that you should consider paying off, paying down just the same manner. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing, okay? You can split things up however you want with your allocations. You can do whatever you want because, like I said, everyone is different. These are just some of the best ideas to help yourself financially, really. And also, guys, keep in mind insurance that you're paying on your credit items as well, okay? Many people don't factor these in. This is essentially like having a higher interest rate on these debts, okay? And which this is just going to make it a worse debt. For example, in my case, I have a student line of credit that I got around second year university, I think, because something was going on with my government funding. And this is like a 5% line of credit, which isn't bad, right? But then with these insurance payments I pay every month, this turns it into more like an 8.5% loss on capital for me, okay? So this actually makes it my worst debt other than any credit card I didn't pay off right away. So I'm focused on paying this off first. And generally, as your debt decreases, your insurance will too. Now, the next idea I might recommend, and once again, this is depending on the person, everyone's different, but you might want to try and start a business. Now, notice I said try there, okay? I didn't just say go and start a business. Because the truth is, guys, it's not easy to start a business, okay? There's lots of hurdles that you're going to face and that you're going to have to overcome. Some of these could be competition, building awareness for your business. Even something as big as your value proposition could be a big one for some of you out there trying to start a business. So as an entrepreneur, you need to be accepting of something, and that something is what we call failure. It's like the famous proverb, fall down 7 times, stand up 8, okay? Because it's not like the movies, guys. You're going to have problems. Things don't always go the way that you plan. You're going to have surprises. You're going to have upsets, changes in direction, and even straight up failures, okay? But that is the most important part of all of this. It takes a wise person to realize when they've made mistakes, but more importantly, how to prevent these mistakes. I guarantee you 100%, guys, that if you're on a venture to start a business and you mess up, you slip up, you fail, whatever, I guarantee 100% that you're never going to make those same mistakes again. Many successful entrepreneurs, many of the world's most wealthiest and successful people were born out of failure. It takes a lot, okay? It takes a lot of experimenting, a lot of late nights, and a ton of emotional investment. But if you get this right, then it can do more than just pay off, okay? It can change your life completely. $1,000 is plenty enough to start a business, okay? But the key is to bootstrap, which is use what you can without buying. Feel free to get creative, okay? Whether this means you're making some of your own improvised systems, not getting the most popular or expensive things, and basically just having a minimalistic mindset. You never want to be spending more money than you need to, okay? And with $1,000, you can do a number of things. Just to list a few, you probably have more than enough to start an e-commerce website or an online business, something like that. And you could have more money at the end that you can invest into the business. You can get some starting inventory if you have an e-commerce thing going. Maybe you want to buy some design software if you're into that sort of thing. Or at the very least, maybe you can spend some of that $1,000 on advertising for your business. You could buy a lawnmower and some yard tools. Try doing work around your neighborhood. That's a business idea. You could even do something like buy a drone that's going to take aerial photography, professional photography, and you can build up a client base there. Another idea, you can even try and hit it big on YouTube, okay? So this is free, but actually with that $1,000, you can invest into yourself there, okay? Into that business idea by buying things. Maybe you need a laptop or a better camera, or maybe your editing software is not too good. This is money that you can help grow that way. This investment to start a business could easily be the best $1,000 or less that you've ever spent, and it could potentially be one of the best decisions of your life, okay? If you care enough and if you work hard enough. All right, so the third way that you could choose to invest this $1,000 is to take this money and invest it, but into yourself. Now, personally, I think this is the best way to invest for the first time because the returns can far outweigh returns you're going to get from other sources. So what does that exactly mean? Invest in yourself. Well, when you invest in yourself, it's basically a form of growing individually. When you invest in yourself, what you're essentially doing is making yourself more attractive to the marketplace. A lot of the time when it comes to investing, people just don't think that they have enough money at the end of the day, okay? They have a debt or a spending problem. While this can totally be true, it can also be true that you don't have a debt problem, okay? That you don't have a spending problem. When you look deeper, are any of these things, are all of these things avoidable? If they're not avoidable, then perhaps what you actually have instead is an income problem. Adding a new skill set or becoming more marketable, to the marketplace, just like starting a business, can significantly increase your income. There are many ways to invest in yourself, such as taking courses, maybe working on your public speaking. You can even try and learn a new skill that you've always wanted to, okay, like digital marketing or coding. Another underrated way to invest in yourself is actually by reading, okay? I don't know why, but I just feel like less people actually read these days, when in reality, it's actually easier than ever because everything we can pull up electronically. What books do is allow you to gain knowledge from people who know things that you don't know yourself, okay? And this knowledge, it's going to last you for the rest of your life. When you read books or articles that add value to you, it's pretty much like you have a group of mentors, okay, that are constantly sharing information with you to try and help you succeed. You should always, okay, be looking for a valuable skill to add to your inventory, because really this is going to be your best bet at earning more money. If you're just living day to day, in your mundane life where you're not trying new things, you're not going and challenging yourself, and you're not going ahead and learning new things, then you're just never going to grow as a person, okay? And more so, you're never going to grow, or you're going to have a harder time trying to grow your wealth. Once you're earning more money, then you can start looking towards all the other investments, okay? Because originally you're going to want money to invest, and a good amount of it, okay? Not just dollars and cents. And this is forever going to be a struggle if you're not making enough money to live the lifestyle that you live. Really, guys, it sounds corny, it sounds cliche, but you just need to believe in yourself, okay? You need to recognize the things that you're good at, the things that you enjoy, and work towards reaching goals that have to do with those kinds of things. For example, you could even go and get some certifications or some licensing, okay, to help you get that better job. Or maybe you need to go ahead, like I said, and buy a laptop that's going to help you with your online business. These are good forms of investing in yourself, because they're going to allow you to reach way greater potential, okay? Forget your 5%, your 10%, even your 20% that you can potentially get in the stock market if you're investing there. When you're investing in yourself, these can far outweigh these returns, okay? And they can increase many times over and over, and these returns are going to last a lifetime. Now, this doesn't mean that you should just automatically go and invest into yourself, okay? For example, like we talked about, paying down debt's always good. So if you have debt that you really need to clear up, then it might be a wise decision to pay down that debt. Just use your own individual planning and discretion, I guess, for your own individual scenario. And just make sure, guys, that if you're going to be spending money, investing in yourself, make sure that you're not spending more than you actually need to. For example, we talked about taking courses, but I didn't mean by this to go and find, let's say, someone on YouTube's course that they're selling for $499, limited time, act now, it's going to change your life forever. Surely, a lot of people do this, but it's not the best way to spend your money, okay? There's way better options. And likewise, say if you go out and you buy a $3,000, $4,000 laptop or camera, when less popular ones, cheaper ones are available and would suffice, that also might not be the best use of your money there. Okay, last but definitely not least, guys, the fourth way that I would suggest you invest your first grand, your first 1,000 clams, your first 10 times 100 bones, is none other than the stock market. Now, stock market, it's not for everyone, okay? But it is undoubtedly one of the best, if not the best place to put your money and invest it if you're looking for good returns. This is where I like to invest a lot of my money, because when you're investing, time is like the biggest factor, okay, guys? So I want to take the advantage of compounding at my younger age. And if you're younger too watching this video, then you should too. If you're the type of individual that wants less risk, and you're more the set it and forget it type of investing strategy, then I'd recommend that you invest into something called an index. You can buy indexes on the stock market that are exchange traded funds that trade baskets of companies all in one. I would recommend finding an index fund that replicates the stock market as a whole, okay? Because you're investing into one fund and you're getting exposure to so many companies, all the ones in the S&P 500, so you're getting maximum diversification this way. Now, on the contrary, if you're on the other side of the fence and, you can handle a little more risk, maybe a lot more risk depending on how you look at it, and you're seeking something that you actively manage a little more, then you might want to look into investing into individual stocks. So individual stocks, you're typically going to have more risk, right? But with this risk comes a greater reward, okay? You can get higher returns than the stock market as a whole if you pick the right stocks. But also on that note, I don't want to get too in depth about stock market investing. I actually did a whole video, a long one, about 25-30 minutes on the stock market. So if I'll put a link for that in the description below if you want to check that out. It's a stock market 101 crash course for beginners, and there's basically everything you need all in one video to get started there. But basically, you'll want to find good companies. These are ones with a solid track record, and you'll want to avoid investing solely off of things like hype, news and emotions as well. Starting off in the stock market, let's face it, guys, you're at your highest chances to lose money, okay? But don't let this discourage you. The main importance of investing this first $1,000 is to gain all of this valuable knowledge and all this experience. Trust me, no amount of videos and no amount of paper trading is going to prepare you for the reality of investing in the stock market for yourself, in person. Everyone makes mistakes, right? And when you're fresh into the game, you're at your highest probability to make these mistakes, okay? So you're going to learn what to look out for. You're going to learn how your emotions are getting involved and how to control yourself. And this is just going to make you a better investor, and it's going to help to prepare you for the future down the line when investing is going to have a bigger impact for you. Because let's face it, guys, $1,000, yeah, it's a nice chunk of change to have, but these days it's really not that much money in the grand scheme of things, okay? So it's important that you make your mistakes now, okay? You learn as much as you can, you absorb everything you can while you have less on the line, if you understand what I'm saying. This is also why I would only recommend purchasing one stock, okay? Or maybe a couple stocks if you're going to do individual stocks, because this way you're going to reduce the amount that trading fees are eating into your returns. Because with $1,000, say you have an amazing return that year and you get 15%, that's going to be $150, right? Not bad, not bad. But then if you're paying a trading fee from $5 to $10, let's say, you're going to pay this when you buy and when you sell. So that's twice. You're going to be paying $10 to $20 there just for that one stock. And as you buy more and more, these trading fees really add up. So it's important that you focus on really good companies with a lower risk that you can really just go big or go home on. So that is the last best way to spend $1,000 on investments, okay? That brings us to the end of today's video, and I really hope that you were able to get some value out of it. Paying down debt and investing yourself are really the two best options, but don't forget about the other two options I mentioned as well, okay? So that's starting a business and entering the stock market, okay? Doing some investing with stocks. So certainly if you have any comments, any questions, leave those in the comments section down below. I will make sure to get to those. If you like this video, please make sure to smash that like button, totally assault that subscribe button, just beat the crap out of it, go nuts. And also feel free to share this video with anyone you know at all that can utilize some of this advice, okay, and benefit from it. Because guys, in the end, that's all that makes me happy about this channel, is being able to reach the right people and being able to have positive impacts on people's lives financially. Hit the bell icon if you want to stay notified every time I drop a video, and also follow me on Instagram at Boss Financial Channel. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, stay positive, and see you next time.